Everybody smile.
Hi.
Yeah, you.
I'm gonna leave the camera. Everyone,
Okay. So picture for a second your childhood home. It's not a home you chose to live in, but you lived there anyways. Now imagine for a second that every time you took the garbage to the curb, the garbage man never came and picked it up. Your yard is littered with trash. Imagine that your air vents were clogged, so there's no filtration in your house. And there's no purification done to the water that's going into your house. No plants can grow outside, the air is hot and muggy, and your water is undrinkable. You can't live in this house. Fortunately for you, if you have the financial means, you can pick up all your stuff and move to a different one. Unfortunately, this is the kind of stuff that we're doing to our own planet, and we can't just pick it up and move to a different one. We're destroying our planet, and we need to start taking responsibility and taking care of it. We're destroying our planet. A lot of times when you hear about this topic, you'll hear the word climate change thrown around. So what is climate change exactly? Climate change is the global or regional change in climate. That's all it is. It's been happening throughout since our planet was formed without human interaction. One example of how this has been happening without human interaction is Ice Age. The planet has gone through about 5 ice ages lasting about hundreds of millions of years. But more importantly to our history as people, there are periods of glaciarization. And that's a little bit shorter in there. So I have a chart for you guys. This chart is from climate.nasa.org, and it shows the rising and falling of atmospheric carbon dioxide. Now this actually we know from history.com and climate.nasa.org that there is a correlation between carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and glaciarization. So the higher the carbon dioxide, the lower the glaciarization. That means the sea levels are lower. That means that the sea levels are higher. There's less Arctic ice, and the temperatures are genuinely cooler. That's what happens or the temperatures are genuinely hotter, and that's what happens when it's high carbon dioxide. And we also noticed from this chart that somewhere in the 1900s, it started spiking really fast. So why is that? So carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, and we've actually, as people, figured out how to use this greenhouse gas in order to power stuff. So with the Industrial Revolution, we're starting to use more of it. Climate.nasa.org also tells us that this naturally happens because it's an insulator for our planet. It keeps the heat from the sun in, keeping us warm and sustainable. But the U.S. Energy Information Administration tells us that in the United States alone, we emit 5.1 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide, which is a 7th total of the human-made emissions for that year, which was 2017. We also know, because of that same study, that North America isn't responding to the demands to reduce their carbon dioxide emissions to help the climate. They're refusing to do so because it's a lot cheaper, and they are bumping up our levels. A report done by charity CDP tells us that 100 major companies, such as Exxon and BP, are responsible for 71% of human-made carbon dioxide emissions. So as you can see, carbon dioxide has been around without people, so why is this a big deal? With this giant spike, our glaciarization period will be over. The Arctic ice will melt, our sea levels will rise significantly, and we'll lose tons of land, which is important for keeping our current population alive. We need that land to grow crops, we need that land for people to live, and we need that land for plants to grow to keep our air clean for us to breathe. So we obviously need to start doing something different to take care of this planet. As I said earlier, as I established, there are major companies that are responsible for most of our carbon dioxide. So there's nothing we can do as a consumer to fix it. You'll hear a lot when talking about this topic to boycott Walmart, boycott meat, boycott certain companies. Well, that's not going to do anything. You alone boycotting a company isn't going to reduce their sales. They're not going to do anything different. However, there is something you can do. A website made by the Union of Concerned Scientists has these links. And these links are available for you to target specific companies and call them out on their use and hold them accountable for the carbon dioxide that they are knowingly putting into our atmosphere. And another thing you can do as an individual is there is a website, 50waystohelp.com. And this website gives you easy, simple things that you can do in your day-to-day living. I'll give you a couple examples of things that you can even employ this week. One way is using full loads of laundry, waiting till you have a full load of laundry instead of doing half. Not only does this save you time with all of the loads you're doing, if instead of doing 3 for the week, you only do 1. But it also saves you money and it reduces the amount of water wasted. Another thing you can do is put on cruise control on your highway when you're on the highway in your car. This will even out the acceleration in your car, boosting your gas mileage and reducing the amount of time you have to fill up your gas tank, which again, saves you money. You see where I'm going with here? And a third thing is going and buying local produce. Local produce is a lot safer for the environment because of the way it's grown. And also, you can support your local community. You can support your local farmers. Luckily for you guys in Columbia, our farmers market just got revamped, so it's easier for consuming. There's easier access to it. And another thing you can do, you can go to the website 50waystohelp.com if these 3 options aren't something that you can put into your day-to-day living, or you want to look at more things you can do to help. That is a good resource for you. So in conclusion, the earth is our home. Whether or not you care about climate change, whether or not you're doing anything to contribute or help hurt, we're still living on this planet. So we might as well take care of the only one that we've got. Keeping our planet clean can make us our living on this earth comfortable, as well as looking out for the future generations. All right, thank you.
Woo! Great job, Sabrina.